As you previously saw, I tried to get out of my Rivian R1T lease, and today I am on my way to Carmax to see if they can get me out of the lease, if that's even possible through them, and what they would offer on my Rivian R1T after about a year to see what the depreciation is, because I don't think leases make sense for a normal person. I think there's two scenarios. Like, I'm a little different because I make car videos on YouTube, okay? So I don't consider myself like the average consumer. The other thing where a lease can make sense is if you lease a car for 2 or 3 years, and that's when you take massive depreciation and you know you're going to want a new car. Those are the two scenarios to where I think a lease can kind of make sense. Outside of that, at the end of a lease, you're left with nothing. You have nothing. So that's where I think if you don't really care about cars, you should just buy something cheap. The other thing about my lease is I love my Rivian R1T. I like Rivian as a brand as a whole. I have no issues with it. I just simply, for my family, it would be better if we had an R1S. I don't need the truck bed. However, for golf, I do love using the gear tunnel to put my golf clubs in. That is incredible. Now this lease, the 2-year lease, 2 years, 12,000 miles a year, so 24,000 miles total. That is going to cost me $34,000 over that 2-year span to own this 2023 Rivian R1T. So it will be interesting after 1 year to see what the depreciation is on my R1T, because there are 2022 R1Ts going for the high 40s and the low 50s. Only 2 years used, they've lost close to 50% of their value. So I'm curious, a year later, and this is also a Gen 1 vehicle, they now have the Gen 2s out, which have minor differences on them, such as faster processors, better cameras, things like that. So I'm very curious to see, maybe, let's say I was just a regular person, I went to my 9 to 5 and I got this, maybe the lease would make sense. Now, a lot of times, I always recommend, if you're buying a car, buy it. Financially, the best thing to do is buy it slightly used and then drive it until it doesn't work anymore, or until the maintenance gets so crazy that you're just done with it. But a lot of people, they want to, buy crazy cars and be leveraged. I saw a video the other day, a guy bought a Hummer EV for $170,000 and owed $170,000 still because of the interest, and was paying like $3,300 a month. And his reason for buying the Hummer EV was because gas prices were high. So his fix in that situation was to not buy a used Honda Civic. It was to buy a $170,000 EV, the most inefficient EV that is expensive to charge. It was the dumbest thing ever. But there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that do that so they can drive a nice car to show off. So we're on our way to Carmax. We're going to see what they offer. But also, I got to show you this product here from Wolfbox. This is a jump starter. This is an excellent product to have during these cold winter months, and here's why. Wolfbox sent me this jump starter. This has enough energy to jump start a car 40 times and has other features like a flashlight and acts as a battery bank to charge phones or other accessories. With 4,000 amps, this is powerful enough to start any consumer vehicle and will start an engine as big as a 10-liter diesel. With 4,000 amps, your vehicle will start instantly with no need to wait. Simply plug it in on the side and then connect your positive and negative connectors. Once they are connected, you will get a readout that says start that will let you begin to put more energy back into your battery. It's equipped with a 65-watt Type-C and QC 3.0 USB-A port, enabling the starter to be fully charged in just 1.3 hours. It's a nice peace of mind item to keep in your car. Just think about the times when the light is left on in the car and it drains the battery. If you have this, that will never be a problem that strands you. I will be keeping this in my Rivian in case there is someone in need, and you can use this discount code to save on your purchase. I will also have it linked on Amazon in the description. All right, folks, we knew this was going to be bad. I didn't know it was going to be this bad. So let's go through this. So I have leased this car. The lease is going to cost me $34,000 to own the car for 2 years and 24,000 miles. And also, shout out to Carmax. They get more free content advertising than anyone, but it is very convenient. I gotta say, every time you go in, it's clean. Also, I went into the bathroom. Bathroom was clean. They had these purple sponges in the urinal. Just nice blowout facility at Carmax. So something to talk about here, the residual value of this. So meaning what what I can buy this for after the lease is up is $62,000. So sometimes going into a lease, maybe 2 years later, it's worth $70,000. You can buy it for something that's less than that, and maybe you're kind of ahead. So the original value of this Rivian was $91,050, and with 11,856 miles on the car and 1 year of ownership, they offered $52,000. So the lease is going to cost $34,000, and it lost $39,050 in value. So it lost 43% of its original value. So in this case, if you like to switch cars and do things like that often, it would have actually been beneficial to do the lease because you would spend less. You also wouldn't have spent all that money on paying taxes on the car. If you pay taxes on $90,000 compared to paying taxes on $34,000, that's a huge savings as well. The problem with a lease is you are at the end of it. I go, here's your car, and I walk away and I go, I have nothing. I have nothing. It makes no sense for most people. Unless you can afford it and you like switching your cars often, then in this case, it does make sense because electric vehicles are just losing their value like crazy. Also keep in mind, this is only 1 year in, so I still have another year left on this lease. What's it going to be worth when I turn it in at the end of 2025? It's insane, the value that this has lost, and I love it. I'll have my Rivian referral code linked in the description and on the screen right here. That saves you $750 toward your purchase or lease of one, and you can use that money towards stuff in the gear shop. But I love this car. I love everything about it. I love the automatic frunk. I love the... didn't work. I love the gear tunnels. I'm currently in off-road mode, so you can see the car's lifted up because of the air suspension. The gear tunnel, if you play golf, is excellent, or you can put a kitchen set in here. You can do all this stuff. It's a sport truck. I really enjoy it, but electric vehicles just lose their value like crazy. And on the used market, you can get these in the 50s and even in the high 40s. And for that money on something like this that has an 8-year, 150,000 mile warranty on the battery pack down here, that's what everyone worries about on these things, but you're covered on a warranty. And I can't remember what the bumper-to-bumper warranty is. I think it's 4-year, 50,000. I'll have it on the screen.
And we need to pause right here to talk about the difference in warranties. So Gen 1 vehicles, as you can see on your screen, have a difference in dual motor, which is what I have, and quad motor configurations. So dual motor, 4 years, 50,000 miles, quad motor, 5 years, 60,000 miles. So if you're buying one used, just know there is a slight difference there. But if you're buying a Gen 2 vehicle, it's 4 years, 50,000 miles, no matter which motor setup you go with. 4 years, 50,000 miles is pretty standard. That's what Tesla has. But I wanted to put this on your screen because there's a lot of really good information here in terms of warranties to help you in your buying process, whether that's new or used.
I think the truck's incredible. I love the technology, the charging network, all that stuff. They just happen to really depreciate. So I would say get one slightly used. I think you can still use the referral credit for inventory that's used buying directly from Rivian as well. So the other thing you may wonder is, what's it like taking this on a road trip? I drove it on a 6,000 mile journey across the country. Click this video right here. That'll give you a good perspective of what charging's like. Does it deliver on miles, comfort, all that stuff? Check this video out, and I'll keep bringing the updates on the lease.